Whatever. Let's see. Where were we? Right. We're currently liking this progress. We're ignoring that. Come here. I want to do this right, because I may want to ask like a million questions I don't know yet. Okay, did I not get a screenshot? Gosh, we're stressing a lot, bro. I think it was this one. Copy. Hold on. Before I ask him, we already have it in our system. We can come back to this. We're trying to use our instructors as a last resort. And we're trying to learn by ourselves, but also we still want to pass. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna ignore this for now. Okay, we're gonna ignore this for now.
Anything wrapped inside quotations.
Right. 4135 is where we're at. We've yet to work on our lab again. We need to at least finish this first lecture.
So that top line, what that top line is saying is we're making a string variable, so something that can hold like words, sentences, anything wrapped inside quotations. We're naming it reading, so that string variable is identified or named reading, and it has the value of world. In C#, you're going to notice that it is extremely similar, but the std : stands for standard library, and it gets prefixed to a lot of things in C++. In C# it doesn't exist, we don't need it. So in C#, it's string reading or world. In Java, you see the primary difference in here besides the colors, and colors mostly don't matter because you as a programmer can choose whatever color layout you want for your Visual Studio or your IDE. That C++ and C# both have lower s's on strings, and in Java it doesn't have lower s on string. Most languages, not all but most, are extremely type sensitive and casing sensitive. And then in TypeScript, you're going to notice that the primary difference between upper three lines is the keyword let reading identified as string equals hello. So in the other languages, it's string, either upper S or lower S, the identifier reading equals the value. On TypeScript, it's let reading as a string equals hello. So the syntax for everything is, it could be similar, it could be very alien.
I'm feeling sick. Shit. I'm gonna lean back for a moment. Oh, this sounds interesting.
Honestly, you made a decision, you made a bad decision, you know that already. But if you really care about making it better, be honest. If you really care about making things right, be honest.
Background music, so that goes there. Lecture is priority.
Tell me what happened.
On the 21st of February, 2019, one girl came home crying after her classes at Boggy Creek Elementary. The girl was somewhere between 6 and 8 years old. And despite the hesitation and embarrassment, she told her parents, and later the police, that one of the substitute teachers, and I'm quoting, began touching her while explaining an assignment as he was sitting at his chair. When the parents reached out to the authorities, they uncovered the substitute teacher to be Zaid Yassin Asher. In December of 2018, Asher started his substitute teacher career at Osceola County and taught 1,102 students at 9 Osceola County schools, including the Central Avenue, Flora Ridge, Ventura, Pleasant Hill, Kissimmee, and Mill Creek Elementary Schools, and Kissimmee and Parkway Middle Schools. He taught first grade at these schools, not because he was good at it, but because he preferred to. In the later investigation, it was confirmed that he preferred to look after elementary-age kids during his interview process, and it now seemed clear why. In each of these schools
Kill 'em.
were victims of his horrid behavior, and it was always the same pattern. He'd invite a student to his desk, and while he distracted the girls with work, he would, quote, inappropriately touch them. One
Oh,
7-year-old
God.
student told her mother that her
7?
teacher touched her private parts in 2 different classes at Boggy
What?
Creek Elementary School. The only reason his reign of terror didn't last long is because of one brave girl who spoke to her parents about her experience on the 21st
God,
of
he had
February
multiple
2019,
victims.
which was also the
They
last
just started out
class
their lives,
Usher
bro.
ever taught. It was a dual language class of 14 students, in which one of the students had a query to ask about an assignment. Usher invited her up to his desk and drew something on his notes for her to copy. While she was copying, he put his hands down her pants.
Oh.
The investigation began after her parents reported this incident, and on March 1st, Usher was interrogated about the incident.
That's true.
We're gonna go through this again. These kids are all making it up.
No,
You tell me the whole school's gonna make something up?
no, I'm telling the truth about
Mm-hmm.
the other girl, but I don't know about.
Okay. Maybe a girl. Let me say a girl because I don't even know if you remember her name. A girl.
Straight insulted
On
him.
Thursday,
Like it.
she's saying that you touched her butt inside of her
I
pants.
don't like that. Someone's gonna beat his ass in jail in prison probably.
Are you willing to take a lie detector test? It's really a stress voice analysis test, but people kind of refer to it as a possible lie detector test. Will you be willing to take something like that?
No,
Why?
I'm afraid.
Why?
It will hurt me, that's why.
How is it gonna hurt you? It's not painful. Or you're afraid because you're not being honest with me.
No. It's not in the.
Man, listen. I don't understand why you cooperated with me. I know I'm gonna find out a whole lot more. Now I'm scared about what I'm gonna find out because you're not being honest with me. We keep on going back and forth. You cried and you told me you were sorry. Does it seem like you're sorry when you're not being honest with me right now?
I haven't done that. But I did want to.
I know that. How else would I know that? Oh my! I wouldn't be here if I don't know.
Yeah.
You touch a student's butt.
God, dude, that's so weird. Ew.
Female student.
Oh gosh.
Refusing to take the lie detector test is a big mistake. In reality, telling someone to take a lie detector test is an interrogation method used to intimidate the person to confess. In some difficult interrogations, they compel the person to comply with a lie detector test, which they have a right to refuse. And even if they pass the test, the interrogators can tell you otherwise. But it seems like that's not needed here, considering how shaken he is right now. That same day, a different detective interviewed Usher in front of his house, where he denied the allegations and started crying. Now, that crying would indicate that he's slightly remorseful and would be honest straight away. But apparently, it's going to take a lot more than that to bring out the truth.
You touched up so many students you don't even know. You don't even remember. You're trying to think, oh, which girl spoke up? That's what it seems like.
No.
Let me tell you something, and I'm gonna be honest. You cried to me. You told me you were a good kid and that you were sorry. But you're not being sorry when you're seeing that these kids are denying something. Do you know what these kids go through? You know, this other girl that came forward was crying to her mom, saying that something really bad happened to her. You believe in karma? How would you like it if it happened to one of your nieces or nephews?
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Or you when you were little, or your family members. But you're sitting there, and instead of, you're not sorry. You say you're sorry, you're not sorry. Because you're not being completely honest with me. If somebody's truly sorry and wants forgiveness with anybody, you will be honest. You're not sorry.
Disgusting.
So if I pull video, I will not see you touching anybody that day you substitute.
Oh, do not touch it.
You want to play that game? That's fine. It's gonna come out. I already talked to you about touch DNA, and this is even worse because I heard you put your hand inside of her pants. So you think that your DNA is not gonna be there? I don't understand why do you keep on like hiding things? These kids, what did I tell you earlier? That sooner or later everything comes out. I know this little girl is not gonna just make it up. I know that. Be honest and tell me what happened, man. You're sitting there, and at this point, you know, saying you're sorry, but you're really not. You know I'm gonna find out. You know I'm gonna start pulling surveillance. Now you're just gonna make me work harder for it.
I really didn't do that.
Okay. So some random girl that does not even know the other students is randomly gonna say the same thing that you touch her butt. That is just a coincidence? That's a coincidence? It's a coincidence?
I really didn't do it, said Asher, despite getting emotionally intimidated by the detective. He already said he was sorry and was crying a few hours ago when the detective came to his house, and now he's just lying. We can't imagine an 8-year-old would lie about something so heinous. And the fact that all 6 to 8-year-old victims are pointing to Asher clearly means it's him.
Mm-hmm.
He has no choice but to confess.
Do you think that today's my first day on the job? Do you think that today you're my first interview?
Oof.
You're not fooling anybody, man. Not the judge, not
Oh
anybody.
my.
It's people, they don't even know each other. They're in completely different classes. Today was not even in school. So it's not like she went and told somebody else and they plotted against you. So there's no way. You're gonna sit there and lie still, or are you gonna be honest? You're not a little kid. You're an adult now, and you take responsibility for your actions. You decided to touch these girls. They didn't tell you to touch them. You made a
Yes.
decision.
Ugh.
Honestly, you made a decision. You made a bad decision. You know that already. But if you really care about making it better, be honest. If you really care about making things right, be honest.
Exactly, bro.
I know you did. Tell me what happened.
I don't touch your butt.
Oh god.
What is she saying? Something about it's cold or
Discussing
it's
visual,
cold?
please stop mentioning that detective. That's what,
Where did that
but we
happen?
gotta
Outside
hear
or
it.
inside?
Keep mentioning it. We gotta hear it. We gotta learn.
Behind the
Gotta
desk
know.
or somewhere else?
Beside the desk.
What else do you do? Tootie does that too that day. Who do you do that to that day? On the 21st. Only one person?
Yeah.
What was she wearing?
Jeans.
Mm-hmm.
Thief. Yeah.
And what?
Yeah, jeans.
Huh? And what else?
T-shirt.
So how do you put your hands inside her pants? How did that happen?
She was wearing a skirt.
She's wearing what?
A skirt.
I think you said jeans.
I thought.
What kind of skirt? Was it a jean skirt or was it something else?
The thing is, he had jean skirt.
Okay, so how did that happen?
Disgusting. Disgusting.
What was at the desk?
Okay, but what happened?
Honesty's on your heart, man.
She came up to me,
You're
asked me
being
a question.
honest. You realize.
Told her to
Disgusting.
get your assignment and come here.
Okay. No happened.
Don't try to touch her.
But how? Where do you put your hand?
On your back.
And you slid it down, or was it from underneath your skirt, or was it from above?
What's from the above?
Like that, like down.
Yeah.
What did she do?
And torn.
How long did that last for?
About 2 minutes.
What? No.
She just let you?
Yeah.
How did she look?
She's blonde. Black eyes.
Huh?
Black eyes.
Dark eyes?
Dark eyes.
What else?
She was wearing a skirt.
Are you sure about the skirt, or you said pants at first? If you're not sure, that's fine. I'd rather you say you
I'm
don't.
not sure.
Huh?
I'm not sure.
Oh no, he doesn't.
I don't want you to
know
guess if you're not sure.
God, this is so disgusting.
Okay?
Ay, ay, ay. Sneeze that trash out of me. Hold
During
on.
what subject was this?
We're done with this. You, 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 bro, you, you.
So I was in community college programming from 2009 to 2013. I moved here to Full Sail for web dev and design from 2014 to 2016. And then I took cloud computing, which had some basic forms of programming like Python and a couple other very specific languages for that 3 from 17 to 18. And in web languages specifically, there's a billion of them. And there's frameworks that are applied on top of language that alter language so significant, it might as well be a different language. So after you've worked with so many of them, they're like, I forgot the syntax for this, I know what I want to do, I'm just going to do it. I do that every day.
Yeah, that's
Right
what
now I have a project
kinda
that
where I'm
I'm
at.
doing in Python, and then TPG1 done in C++, and I still have a couple side projects that are done either in web languages like PHP or in C#. So bouncing from language to language, I just often Google the syntax for what I know I want. And then right here, still the same example of language to language. Right here we have floats, which are non-whole numbers. So there's a
Okay.
decimal space, a decimal point.
I need to practice with floats. Well, okay, let's do this. We need to look at our document anyway. So this is, let's see which one this is. Here it is. We can come back to that. We have that project file. Let's see. We come back to that. What's going on over here? Let's just go for a game right off rip. Reload? Did you reload? Not so though.